Good morning, friends. I am here with one of the OGs of Canvas, Woody, one of our senior trainers on the learning services team. This man is so filled with Canvas brilliance. I don't even know why we have anybody else on here. Sorry. I'm sorry for any of my friends that are listening and saying, "Well, I'm good too." You're right, you are. Woody is especially good, and he is going to talk today. There's some really cool enhancements that are coming out, will be available to the public on October 17th. They're currently in beta. This is all about the new student submission UI. And so we're excited just to have Woody talk through what's going to be coming and, of course, answer any questions that you might have. So as always, drop who you are, where you're from in the comments, and start asking questions, and we'll pop them into Woody throughout. With that, Woody, take it away, my friend.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm Woody Roper. I'm Senior Trainer for Learning Services at Instructure, and I wanted to show or give a quick preview to all of you who are attending today, some of the new student enhancements when it comes to how students are going to submit. Now, I just want to go ahead and put it out there that right now it's going to be optional when it gets turned on October 17th. So administrators, if you're watching, you can turn it on at that particular point. Right now, it's only available in beta, but you'll be able to turn it on and give teachers the choice on whether they want to use this tool in the course. This preview will show you how students are going to be able to use this tool and how it differs from their previous submission experience. So just maybe a quick recap. How do students submit normally? How does it look right now with no new features turned on? I'm going to go ahead and just go into this course right here, and I'm going to use the test student. For those of you that don't know, all Canvas courses have a test student, and a test student is so important to see the journey of how a student is going to submit to an assignment. It's also a great way for you to practice Canvas, not only practice grading, but also maybe enhancing your assignment instructions. You got to ask yourself, for example, if you teach second or third grade, will a student be able to submit to this media assignment? Do I need to enhance my instructions a little bit? You can use the student view to kind of gauge that temperature. So I'm going to be here in the homepage. Again, I'm just showing you what this looks like right now, not the enhancement. Using my student view right over here on the right-hand side, now I'm a student in the course. And let's go ahead and take a look at this assignment right here. And you might notice that I can even see it here in my to-do list because the due dates within the current 4-week time period. So again, this is the student's experience right now. There's your typical submit assignment button up here at the top. If there's any type of rubric that you've attached, students also see it as well. And then they see the main body of your instructions. Clicking on submit assignment right here will take you into that assignment submission interface for the student. And depending on the options that you've given them, they're going to see them down here below, whether accessing their Google Drive, the new LTI 1.3, Office 365 for those of you that are using it, and perhaps more. But notice that the More tab opens up these other options if you have Studio and so on. Well, anyways, file upload, we'll just go ahead and stick within that realm today. Choose File, and just choose something from my assignments folder here. How about this one? One thing to note that a lot of teachers don't realize is that a student in a single submission sitting can submit more than one file. So if this assignment is something to where they have to submit a doc, but also maybe a PDF or a PowerPoint presentation, they can submit 2 documents at once. And when you're in SpeedGrader, you can always switch between those 2 documents. So just let your students know, hey, you can submit 2 files at a single time. Now I'm ready to submit, so submit assignment. And that's basically it. That's what millions of kids are doing and students are doing these days. They're using this interface to make submissions exactly like that. And unfortunately for this student, they do see it as laid up here at the top. So that's how they're submitting right now. Let me go ahead now and switch it over to a couple of my beta instances and now show you what the new experience is going to look like. So again, I'm going to use my student view right here. And I'm going to submit to the exact same assignment. I can see it right over here in my to-do list. And immediately you're going to notice a change. This is completely different. Notice up here at the top, there is a little bit of a status of how this submission's going. The available, we're kind of in that upload stage. We haven't submitted yet, and it also hasn't been graded as well. If we want to see more of the details, watch as I scroll down. Yeah, notice that collapse happens. Yeah, as you scroll down, now you can actually see the instructions. It doesn't take up that space up at the top. That space kind of collapses, letting the student get a status for it. And if they want to collapse the details of the instructions, they can go ahead and choose to do so as well, just by clicking right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just come down to the submission area. Notice that it is different. There isn't going to be a submission button in the top right-hand corner. Well, but the student's eyes do guide down through this, starting here at the top and just kind of moving down. And now they've got a big upload file button. For those of you that are fans of drag and drop, your prayers have been answered. This is where the student can go ahead and drag and drop a file in. Now, there is a more options right here that you want to be aware of. So when the student clicks on more options, this is where they can access their Google Drive, their Office 365, Studio. If you had turned on more options like text entry, media, they would see those in the more options as well. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a file. I wish I had something on my desktop to just drag in pretty cool, but I'll just click on it right here. And let's just go ahead and grab that PDF. All right, looks like we're good to go. If the student wants to view the rubric, there is this option right here to just click on the rubric. Same rubric that we saw before. And if there are any type of submission comments that you make about that submission, they'll be able to see it right here. Notice no submission comments have been made because it hasn't been graded yet. So we're still on at submission one, attempt one, and we've got an upload ready to go. All the student needs to do now is hit the submit button that's right here. And there we go. And that's their submission. No more does the student have to go to another area to view their submission. If you remember in the previous version right here, I would have to go. This is, again, the old tool or the old submission interface. For the student to just look at what they submitted, they would have to come over here to the right-hand side and click on submission details. Then after that, they have to click on view feedback. So 2 clicks the student has to do just to look at what they just submitted. Now, once they submit, they'll be able to see their document. And if you do make any annotations on this document in SpeedGrader, this is where they're going to see it. They're just going to naturally see it now, as opposed to that 2-click navigation at that point.
Woody, let's take a couple of quick questions, my friend.
Sure.
So there have been some questions about iPad. What will the update look like for iPad submissions? Any idea on that?
Right now, I don't have any insight on the iPad because right now I don't have a beta instance to get into the iPad. The only way that I can see it is through beta at this time. One thing to note, that assignments that will not have this interface, like for example, quizzes and discussions, are going to remain as is. There are some limitations to the tool in its current form. Again, it's in beta. You still have the choice to use it. Say, I'll turn this on, or I'll just leave it off until maybe all of the other goodies come out that, give it parity to other submission types. But there are some limitations that you want to be aware of. One of the limitations are what's supported, what type of assignments are supported with this. Right now, all online and external tool assignments. And external tool assignments include Google, the Google LTI 1.1 and 1.3 assignments. So anything online, media recordings, text entry, file uploads, website URL, and so on. Right now, what is not supported with this tool is non-submission assignments. So those are just the assignments that you create because you need a grading column, presentation assignments, walking around the classroom, asking question type assignments, or anything that would be labeled on papers, that stack of papers that you have to grade. Group assignments and peer reviews are not supported at this time, but I wanted to show you Well, what happens then? I have group assignments. Do I need to like keep this completely turned off until, it supports group assignments? No, you don't have to, because what happens if you create a group assignment in the course and you're using the new interface, it's an automatic switch over to the previous view. I'm using this as an example real quick. I'm going to log in as a student and go to a group assignment in a course that has the new enhancements turned on. Let's just give it 1 second here.
And as a reminder, as that's pulling up, reminder to all that this is still a beta environment. We're still in beta. October 17th is when this will be enabled. And reminder to all of you admins and educators out there, your admin will need to turn this on in order for it to work after the 17th.
Okay. So I'm logging in right now as a student in the course, and just to show you that this is turned on in the course, let me just head over to the modules and go to this first assignment. This first assignment is not a group assignment. This is showing the new interface, but I've got a group assignment that I have in this course. Again, this course has that new interface turned on for assignments. Let's take a look at this group assignment right here. You're going to notice immediately that the interface is the old one. So how students have normally been able to submit, it just reverts back to that in the course. So there's no need to, for example, just keep it off until maybe it supports it at some point, which I do believe it will. But you can just have it turned on. It will just affect the assignments interface that it supports. And again, it supports specifically online and external tool assignments, Google Drive, Office 365, but just what's not supported, group assignments or anything on paper, non-submissions and peer review.
So Woody, walk me through this. We have some questions about, is there going to be, Eric here on YouTube says, any changes to the teacher experience of creating and editing assignments, or this just student facing?
Right now, this presentation's on just student-facing. When it comes to editing of assignments, I believe there is something in the works, but not ready for release just yet. Some assignment building tools, but not anything available at this time. Right now, the new rich content editor is turned on. If anything, that is a content building tool. Hopefully, you have the new rich content editor turned on for your instance, and you'll know if you go into, say, create an assignment, create a quiz, an announcement, you get the new tools right above here. If you're kind of wondering as far as, hey, I want to get some of these new tools turned on, the ability to insert now all of these items, the ability to change font. Yeah, we can now do Comic Sans, something we couldn't do before. If you don't have these tools turned on, just have your admin turn that on at the account level, and you can go ahead and turn them on in your course.
Awesome. Andre, our good friend here, is saying great, and he can see SpeedGrader, which he's super excited about. What's the relationship with the format of new quizzes?
With new quizzes, it doesn't affect new quizzes. This is specifically for the assignment interface, and specifically for the online submissions and for the external tool submissions. The new quiz tool is not affected by this change. So if you go into discussions, quizzes, Quiz Classic, new quizzes, it looks exactly the same way that the student would submit as they would today.
Perfect. Beth, we hear you. iOS need to keep giving some extra attention. We hear you, my friend. We hear you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I've got a couple of helpful links that I wanted to go ahead and put into the chat. And perhaps they can go ahead and be shared. So you can kind of have a leg up on these guides before the tool is available on October 17th. The first thing that I wanted to go ahead and give all of you is just the FAQ document. If you have any questions about it, like a lot of questions have already been asked so far. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this here in the chat for you.
Just right there. There you go. I'm going to share that with everybody right now.
No problem. The other thing that I'd like to go ahead and share is if you want to be part of the groups that are having conversations about it, this is just the beta group. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And this beta group specifically for the new student enhancements. And then finally, probably something you'll get a little bit more use out of. The Canvas community provides guides for pretty much everything within Canvas. And what I really like about it is that the guides are role specific. So you can have guides for observers, admins, instructors, and students. So I'm going to go ahead and provide the guides that are built for this new student enhancements tool, which is right here. But that's basically what we have.
Okay, everybody, bring those questions in. I'm just dropping this last link in for you right now. Take a look at those, start digging in, and let's take some questions. Fatima, how are you, our friend? This gives me the idea to include my materials and notes in the assignment so my student can access everything at once. Yep. Any thoughts on that, Woody? So Fatima had a little bit of a concern earlier when you were presenting this that says, the issue is I do not want my students to access assignments without checking the materials and notes.
Right. So so if you want to have the student consult notes, read something, watch something prior to accessing the assignment, that's how I'm interpreting the question. You might want to go ahead and set up some type of set up this assignment in a module to where there are some there's some self-pacing, but there's also maybe some limitations on in the module, what we call prerequisites and requirements. You might want to have a requirement on a page to say you need to read these notes, to watch this video, to watch this PowerPoint, and upon finishing watching those items, you have the ability to say, mark that as done, meaning the student marks it manually, and then they can have access to an assignment. Now, what I normally do is I know students. What happens is they go to that page, the notes, the videos there, and they just hit mark as done, and now they have the assignment, right? What you could do in the modules is have the page certainly with the notes and resources that they can watch and read. They mark it as done. But as soon as they finish marking it as done, how about a little bit of a progress check quiz? Like maybe answer 2 out of 3, right? And they have to take a quiz based on the video. You can use practice quizzes that don't apply any type of grade to the grade book. You can have that practice quiz pulling from a question bank. So it's not the same 3 questions over and over again, because the students will figure it out, right? The students will then have to ask themselves, like, you know what, I've already taken this quiz 4 times and I'm not getting to that assignment. I guess I'm going to have to watch that video, take a look at that PowerPoint, and then take that 3-question quiz. Now, once they hit a scoring criterion, they can move on to that assignment. I like kind of doing that 3 little step tier with prerequisites and requirements in your modules. And perhaps maybe another live session, we can go ahead and maybe demonstrate live how I would do that.
I love it. Woody, give us a reminder again. We've had some questions, of course, on date of release and what they need to enable. Talk us through that again for those who just joined.
Yep, no problem. So right now, the new enhancements are only available through your admin eyes, through what we call the beta environment. Think about what you're looking at right now when you look at your students, when you're building assignments every day. That's what's called production, or your live environment. But in the background, your admins have another region that they can kind of play with tools before they're released, what we call beta. So the ability for your admins to turn on new student enhancements is going to be available on October 17th. They'll be able to turn it on and have it as an option in your course, to where you're not just going in the course and the students are forced to use this. You'll be able to choose after, maybe watching this video, or asking yourselves a few questions about, well, do I want this? Do I want consistency, or do I want to wait until maybe more things are supported before you turn it on? As I've already demonstrated, the group assignments, it'll just be the same way that students have always been submitted. It only affects the assignments that it does support, which is, again, online types of submissions or external tool. And external tool are things like your Google Drive, the LTI 1.3, Office 365, Nearpod, all of those items that can be selected with external tool. That'll be the date that you want to look for, October 17th, to where it's now an option in your course.
Love it. I just dropped a link, everybody. I'm hoping all 200 plus of you that are on here with us are already attending Canvascon Online. Woody's going to be there. I'm going to be there, happening on October 15th. I don't know if you've heard, it's free, as in no money whatsoever. We've got tons and tons of sessions about just incredible features. We've got Sal Khan. We've got LeVar Burton. We've got lots of information about product. You need to be there. Set it up as a PD day if you can with your district. You've still got time. You got a couple weeks. Click on that link and go register today. Swag is going to be off the hook. So you want to be there. You've got to be there if you want to win some swag. Take couple more questions. Christy, our friend from Hawaii, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Woody, is there an option to show or hide the rubric on this assignment page instead of clicking more?
There isn't an option. By the way, mahalo. There isn't an option at this time to hide it from the student. The student will have to kind of click on that rubric to be able to see that. That is something, though, that is now enhanced because previously, when you used external tool assignments, the student would not be able to see the rubric that you would place there with the old style of submission. Now it's an option that the student can go ahead and click on and view it.
Awesome.
So hopefully it was helpful.
Awesome. Let's take this Facebook question. So this is coming from kindergarten through second grade. Missed the beginning, have a kindergarten through second grade, and they have been submitting media recordings because they can't figure out how to upload pictures in a simplified manner. Mm-hmm. Easy for kindergarten. Does this make it simple for the younger age group to take a picture and submit a picture?
Well, let's take a look. I've got a submission right here that actually has media recordings as an option. I've demonstrated file uploads to where you can upload images, upload documents, and also access any of like your Drive accounts. But for example, let's go ahead and just kind of come right over here into the modules. And let's take a look at this assignment right here. I'm going to go ahead and log in as one of my students. And like I said at the very beginning, the test student is an amazing tool, not only for you just to see your students, journey through the course, but the fact is like, do you need to embellish your assignment instructions, like add video instructions to your assignments? I do that a lot, where I'm literally on video, and in the rich content editor, it's like, hey, students, up here at the top right hand corner, well, no more for this one, but top right hand corner is the submit button, and down below you're going to see these options, or maybe give screenshots of with arrows pointing at where they need to click. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look here. Okay. Oop, I've already submitted to this assignment. So let me go ahead and stop acting, and let's go ahead and reset my test student, kind of bring it back from scratch. All right, so text media, 1 second. And
reminder to all, as Woody is setting some stuff up there to demo something for you, October 15th, Canvascon Online. You need to be there. There's going to be so much that's well worth your time attending, including great information, great kind of tips and tricks, great Canvas swag, but you got to be there to earn it. So join us. I dropped the link in there. Make sure you come with us. This new enhancement that Woody's talking about today is available on October 17th. Your admin will have to enable it. So make sure you talk to her or him to get that set up. Let's finish that question about submitting, and then we'll take some more.
No problem. So this assignment has unlimited attempts, and also I've included several different submission options for the student. So sometimes it's helpful to give a student more than one option to submit. Submit a file upload for video, images or file uploads. Also, maybe a media recording. In fact, you can even put into the assignment instructions, okay, for this assignment, 5-minute video essay, you explaining the steps, or a 100-word paragraph to where you type it out. But you can give the student the choice if you want to. So right here under submission type, under choose one, the student will choose a one of the three: file upload, media, or text entry. Media, once they select it, they will have the ability now to hit an upload record. This is where that you might want to include into the instructions that, hey, you can go ahead and drag and drop a file that you've already recorded, or hit the recording button. And there we are. I can just go ahead and start the recording right now. One thing to note about media recordings that you may not know is right over here where it says webcam. What if you don't want to be on camera? This is an audio response. The student doesn't want to be recorded. The student, I know it's kind of obscure. Let me go ahead and get rid of that little bar. The student can choose what's called no video right there. Let me see if I can move this up. No video allows the student to just do an audio track and just record it that way. It's not always just be on camera 24/7. They can just record their voice. Just wanted to let everyone know that. There is approximately, if you wanted to count the clicks, click right here to choose the style file. If you only wanted media, that would be the only option. So it would kind of skip to this option to hit record upload, and then come right over here, drag and drop that file, or just further come in here and hit record and start the recording. But either way, you're kind of gauging your audience as a teacher, determining how you're going to set up the instructions to set them up for success to actually submit to this assignment. I would encourage you all to open up the rich content editor of your assignment, record yourself just giving a quick video walkthrough on how to submit this assignment, and encourage success.
Love it. Let's take this question from YouTube, from Shanda Cunningham. If students realize they sent the wrong doc, how do students access a second attempt to submit?
They would just go through the exact same process. One, they would already have, right here I have it set up for unlimited submissions. So I'll just submit a file real quick, something off of my desktop. I'll just drag this in right here. Actually, you know what? Let me just grab this homework worksheet, and there we go. And then submit to the assignment. But now, that was totally not the assignment that I wanted to submit. The student does see that they have multiple unlimited submissions on this particular assignment. So I would come down here. Oops, 1 second, to the very bottom. Just refresh my screen. I'd come right over here. Now, that's something that you might want to point out in the instructions as well. If you want to make a new submission attempt, you do want to come over here to the very end at the top right-hand corner and just start the process over again. Now this is submit to, the submission to, and you're just going through the same thing. But the button, as far as, submit assignment and so on, it's obviously in a different location. I would most likely include in your assignment instructions, if you need to submit again, just go ahead and maybe show a screenshot and maybe pointing up here at the very top.
Love it, love it, everybody. October 17th, this becomes available. We talked at the very beginning of the session, showed the current version and what's being made available on the 17th. Go back and watch that so you can see what the big difference is. Super cool enhancements. And a lot more to come in the future. Reminder, we want to see you. I want to see you October 15th. There is going to be an actual really cool networking session. I know you're saying, how are you doing that? It's virtual. Wait and see, because it's going to be legit. And we're going to get to really engage with a whole bunch of educators from all over the world. Our friend Beth Crook is here, and she's saying as she's going to be there. She is. I wouldn't let her get away with not coming. Everybody else, we're excited to see you. Click that link right now. Register for Canvascon Online. Thank you, Woody, for helping us understand this big enhancement that's coming out the 17th. We will see everybody soon. Have a great day.